What do you say, guys? Mick Gillispie, Sunday football review here on the Bama Tailgate channel. And going to hang out with you for a little bit and talk about this football game. I know a lot of you guys feel like I do right now. They're pretty disappointed after Alabama lost to Texas last night. At the time, Alabama was fourth, and they lost 34-24. And we talked about it last night on the post-game show and took some of your calls and comments and everything else. And now that the dust has cleared and we heard Nick Saban's press conference and, you kind of had a chance to, just suck it all in. What does it mean? So that's what we're going to talk about right now. Get in the comment section if you have a comment, whether we're live or, it's recorded, and then I'm going to answer them and all that stuff. And make sure that you guys are a part of our channel and hit the bell so you know when we go live. So anyway, all right. I still look at this game and feel like Nick Saban, who talked about in the post-game press conference that he thought about changing quarterbacks. He should have changed quarterbacks. It was very obvious in the game that Milroe, when he was in the pocket and he was standing back there, he just looked like a deer in the headlights and didn't know where to throw the football. He's got amazing skills. I mean, think about some of the deep balls that he threw, but his interceptions cost Alabama the football game. If you really want to go back and look at it, the two interceptions are why they lost. If you don't throw those interceptions, then you could take 10 points off the board, and you know what? Maybe the defense makes a play. They're not out on the field so long, and you don't give Texas the momentum at the beginning of the game. But I'm curious to see what happens going to South Florida with Jalen Milroe. I feel like Nick Saban in the past wouldn't have stuck with Milroe so long. But, obviously he feels like that Milroe going into that game gave him and his team the best chance to win. Talked about in the press conference, and everyone said that. I thought Milroe did a really good job of talking to the media and just basically saying, hey, we're gonna keep working hard and we're not giving up and this season's not over. Said all the right things and it felt genuine. And it really did exude leadership, so good for him. And then Nick Saban said, hey, this is a midterm. We didn't pass the midterm, but this isn't the final exam. So the good thing about losing against a top-notch team early in the season is that you do get another opportunity if you can win. But the problem is Alabama just looked like crap. They just couldn't move the football. The offense just isn't good enough. And it even looked like that last year with a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. It just doesn't click anymore, and they've got to figure it out. And last year they got it going at the end of the season, but it was too little too late. And it didn't make the college football playoff. And I really felt like a lot of that had to do with the offense and their lack of ability to move the football when they were playing at LSU. Okay. Most impressive takeaways from Sunday. I guess when you lose, it's hard to kind of pick those things out. But Nick Saban talked about this too, and I agree with him. The crowd was great. The environment was great. It was a big game vibe at the stadium. The crowd was just fantastic, and I give kudos to the crowd for doing their thing. And I think that they were definitely the most impressive part of Saturday's game. This game and this loss, so significant because everyone has been texting and talking and saying, hey, is the dynasty over? And I don't know. Honestly, it's going to end at some point, and maybe it's over. Maybe it's over. Maybe Alabama is no longer elite. They're still a good team. They're still going to, you would think they'll beat some people this year, but it very well could be. And it's not just this game. It's, the way that things ended against Georgia a few years ago, last year's season with all the close games and all the penalties and then all the penalties last night. The just doesn't feel like we got the same intensity from Nick Saban. I thought he was confident. I just, well, the guy's confident. That's why he's so laid back and easy going. It's not the guy we've known. But that's not it. It's because the team is got problems, and he doesn't want those guys to panic. And, and my question is, have we moved on from winning recruiting battles to now you got to win in the NIL and the transfer portal? That's my question. And if that's the case, then Alabama alumni and businesses better start ponying up money, because it didn't take Texas long to get, and that is a pun intended, Texas Longhorns. It didn't take them long to get things turned around with all the money that they're throwing out there. Same, so, and Nick Saban's already said that before, and he's right. How significant was this loss, though, for Alabama and Nick Saban? This is the first double-digit home loss that Nick Saban has had as a coach since Florida in 2003 beat LSU 19-7. And according to USA Today, this is the first double-digit home loss for Alabama since they lost to South Carolina October of 2004. So this doesn't happen a whole lot. And I think that is significant. Now, let me go ahead and say this. Nick Saban won the national championship in 2003. But that was a younger, hungrier Nick Saban. So we'll see if maybe we're misreading this. And he's going to come back and be chomping at the bit, for this team to get it turned around. But they won the championship after, only scoring 7 points in a football game against Florida in that season. New top 25 poll, and Alabama paying the price for the loss. I'm going to make this bigger so you guys can see it, but they're out of the top. Obviously, they're out of the top 4. And they've slid back to number 10. They're number 10 right now. Georgia's 1. Then Michigan, then Florida State, who hammered LSU. Texas is 4 in the, one poll, the AP top 25. There's 6 in the other. But Alabama's now 10 in both polls with their loss. They dropped 7 spots in both polls. And they still slide in as the first beaten team in there. But, just taking a look at the poll. And then look on top of that, look at all these guys, the teams that you're going to have to play if you're Alabama this season that are in the poll. You got Tennessee's in there, and LSU's in there, and Ole Miss is in there, and down the line, and there'll be some more teams that'll be in there before this thing's all over, right? So Bama's now out of the top 10 and are down to number 10 in the polls, and took a tumble after losing. But I believe in what Nick Saban's always said. Who cares about that? The only poll you want to be, in at the end of the season is number 1 in the polls, because then you won the national championship. I'm more concerned about this team's inability to play offense, to block, to run the football effectively, to throw the football effectively, to put together drives without penalties. That's what I'm worried about. I'm not as concerned about the defense. We don't really know how good this defense is, because the offense just kept on putting them in bad position over and over and over again throughout the game. If that's not improved by the time that Ole Miss comes here, Alabama could have a season where they don't win 10 games, which has been the standard set by Nick Saban. This could be a season where there's a lot more of this going on, a lot of goalposts going down on the road. And there's a lot of teams on that schedule that could beat a team that plays like Alabama played on Saturday. And I don't want to hear, well, it was only a 10-point loss. They got dominated in every aspect of the football game. We just haven't seen Alabama play like that since 2007. It's been since 2007 that they've been that bad. And that was Nick Saban's first season. So, you know what? The red flags are up, and we'll see how things turn around. But the good news is that the last time that Coach Saban had a team that took a whooping like that at home, they ended up winning the national championship, and that, of course, being LSU. If you like Daniel Moore prints, and let me show you some of mine right here. There's that's Eddie Lacy. I'm going to tilt this thing up, and that's LSU 2011 BCS championship game. But I got a lot of them. I love them, and I have since I was a student at Alabama. I'm giving one of those away. When we hit 1,000 subscribers, someone's going to win one. I think it's the Jalen Hurts print when he beat Georgia in the SEC championship game. But whoever wins, you'll have some options if you don't want that one. I just want you guys to subscribe to the channel, be a part of what we're doing here as we build the Bama Tailgate channel, and that's what we're calling it for right now. But say Roll Tide and subscribe, be part of the channel. I will probably not be on tomorrow, but you can catch me with Jake Coker, Roll Tide Pods. We're doing a show on there twice a week. So make sure that you check that out. And I'll get Jake's opinion on what he thought of the football game. And as a former quarterback that went through a quarterback battle a lot like this and had a loss early in the season, which I wouldn't say was like this. That loss to Ole Miss, the Rebels got a lot of breaks. They played good football, but Alabama played a lot better then than they did yesterday. But anyway, he's going to be able to talk about that, and we'll see what he has to say. But I'm still not looking back at this game finding a whole lot of positives. It's been the second day. So you guys tell me what you think. It in the comment section. Convince me that I'm wrong. Tell me that I'm right. If you're from another school, don't troll me. I really don't care what you think. This is kind of our thing over here as we try to figure out what's going on with this Alabama football. Again, I'm Mick Gillispie. Thanks for being here, guys, and Roll Tide.